Alright guys, welcome back to the channel, Trading Simplified. We're at 321 subscribers. Just want to say thank you for everybody that's been subscribing and liking the channel. It makes a big difference. Today I want to go over FSRNX. This is a Fidelity Real Estate Fund, and I think you're going to like what I show you. This has been coming down now for pretty much 2022. The date of this recording is March 27th, 2023. And I think we're starting to enter a time where it's a good time to start buying the dip. So I just wanted to show you because I've been buying this now, and I'm going to continue dollar cost averaging in it over time. And I like to find prices where I'm comfortable at. Because right now the NAV, the price that you pay, is $14, where this was much higher a few years ago, and it was at like $20. So we're getting a nice little discount. And you're owning a portion of real estate, which I believe is important because you want to diversify your portfolio. So for me, this is the only real estate play that I do. I mainly have the S&P 500, the QQQ, the NASDAQ, and then I think it's good to sometimes go into sectors when they're starting to sell off. This is something I'm going to hold for the long term, but let's get right into it. So right away, this is offered by Fidelity. And this is a no transaction fee, so you can dollar cost average. You don't have to worry about paying any fees. And you can just chip in every single month or week, whatever you want to do. So what is this fund? The expense ratio is 0.07%, which means that you're just going to pay 70 cents per $1,000 in it. And we'll get into that later. When you look at symbol FSRNX, 42% of your portfolio is going to be invested in these REITs. And these are all different real estate. You have Digital Realty Trust, the Realty Income Corp, Public Storage. And what I like about this, for a low expense ratio of 0.07% plus dividends you're going to be receiving, you're going to be investing over 166 different holdings. So you're paying a minimal fee and you're getting good coverage because you have over 166 holdings. I'm going to go into the holdings just so you can see, so we can see where it's actually diversified into. So what's your asset allocation? It's 100% in domestic equities. And the real estate diversification, what is it? It's just showing how the investment in real estates are spread out and how they're managing and mitigating risk. So all that means is that 10% of this fund is in apartments. Industrials, 12%. Infrastructure is 13%. And you can pause the screen on this video and you can just look through if you want to get the percentages. Or you can just go on Fidelity and take a look. But I want to save you some time. But out of the top 10 holdings, you can see that the 42% of the portfolio is in these top 10 companies, which offer dividends, these real estate companies, which gives you good diversification. Next, I wanted to go into just the summary real quick, make sure we're not missing anything. It's been around since 2011. So we can look at this chart just to get an idea of where it has been the NAV price. And it's gone all the way up to 24K, and now it's coming back down here, which is good because we don't want to be buying these funds while they're at their highs. You know, you can see it had its dip here during COVID, and now it's dipping again because of everything that's going on in the market. So you want to buy index funds for the long term when they're actually on sale. For me, I'm going to keep dollar cost averaging on this. I can get a bunch of shares at $14. What's the performance and risk? And at the end of this video, I want to show you Vanguard. They have another symbol that you can compare this to, which is good just to see. So you can see another index fund similar that's real estate and just see where it's at. So the performance and risk, how has it been doing for the lifetime? This is the purple, which is the Fidelity, the FSRNX. Over the life of the fund, you've got about 6.7%. That's not bad since 2011. And you got to remember, you're going to reinvest these dividends right back into it. So you're going to make more money over time, which is nice. And it's just comparing it to the other real estate links, other companies and stuff. So if you just put money into this, $10,000, 2014, it has grown to about 18 to 20K, which is not bad. So just over time, this would be a dollar cost average just to have some real estate in your portfolio. The next thing I wanted to show you was the ratings. It gets rated a total of 2 stars out of 5. That's really not selling it too well. But you got to remember, this is just strictly real estate. So it's not, this is compared against all the other funds, where if you had S&P 500, you had QQQ. So you got to take that with a grain of salt. You just got to know what your target goal is of when you're actually investing in and why you're doing it. And we went over the composition and the holdings here. Next, I want to go into fees and distributions. You have that 0.07, which is 70 cents per 1,000 that you're paying as your fee. So let's say you had $10,000 in it, just do 70 cents times 10, and you would know that you'd be paying $70 per the 10,000 that's in there. So very low minimal fee, and you're going to get a dividend history. We can see when it was paying. So they gave 3 dividends in 2022 so far, and then they gave 1, it looks like, in 2021. And then you also have the capital gains history, where you make money on this. You're going to reinvest all these, and it's all per share. So if you owned 100 shares, you would get 20 cents per share. So it adds up. It makes a difference as you continue to reinvest them. And these are, remember, you can invest this in retirement accounts, a simple IRA, or a max exchange redemptions in a year. So and there is no minimum investment, which is nice. So you have no initial investment. You know, you can do $100 a day, whatever you want, $100 a week, month, whatever. And it doesn't cost anything, no fee to do it. And here is the 12-month from $13.41 to $19.68 for 2023. So we're buying right now. I bought some more today. I'm getting more at $14.01. So we're trying to add at the low, which is nice. And you just want to continue to buy over time. The next thing I want to show you was the view all tabs. It just gives a nice little summary, and it just shows the expense ratio. It shows the current price that you'd be buying it at with the minimal investment of $0. So you can invest whatever you want. And it's just showing you that it seeks to provide total return of equity of REITs and any other real estate related investments. So it's investing 80% of the assets that are related to real estate. And then you can look at the total average returns, which we did for the FSRNX, which is right here in purple. And you can see 6.7% of the life of the fund. And it's good to have some other investments that are not just S&P 500, because you want to sometimes get sector related, especially if they're selling off and you know you're going to sell off, you're going to like hold this for 10, 20, 30 years. It's going to grow in the future, which would be nice. So they rate this at a higher risk. Let's see why. They said they calculate this by looking at, let's see here, by the total, I guess the fund total returns of what you're putting in and what you're getting back at it. But the expense ratio is so low that you're really not losing any money on it, because it's only 70 cents per $1,000 that you put in, which is nice. And the last thing I wanted to show you, this just shows us everything that we reviewed. And the last thing I want to show you was the comparison. You can compare this to Vanguard's real estate fund that they offer. So you just type in VNQ. And now Vanguard, if you are a member of Vanguard, you can get a very similar one. And I quickly just wanted to show you that the Morningstar rankings, they do rank the FSRNX better, like as a 10-year rank, 79%. But the management fees are less compared to the Vanguard fund. So you'll see that the FSRNX, you're only getting charged 0.07%. But with the Vanguard VNQ, you're getting charged 0.12%. So it may seem like a little bit, but 70 cents versus $1.20 per 1,000, it can add up over time, especially if you're holding it long term. But you got to remember the VNQ has been around for 27 years versus the FSRNX has only been around for 12 years. When you look at the yields, you'll see that the last dividend was on December 16, 2022. So it's paying dividends, which is good. You want to make sure that these things are paying dividends because you want to reinvest them over time. And for me, the price does make a difference. I'd rather get as many shares as I can. Just makes you feel like you're building up a big position versus if it's $78 versus $14. And it'll help it grow over time. So this is something that I've been looking into. I just wanted you to see it. And as you can see, when you compare both funds, they're pretty much the same. They're literally identical. Except you have the lower expense ratio and you have 0 fees for it. So this is something that I am continuing to buy over time. And I just wanted to bring it up because it's, you know, it's just getting cheaper. It was $21, now it's $14. You're never going to catch the bottom, but if you're dollar cost averaging, if you're buying the bottom and you're getting around there, it's just good to continue to keep buying, because you can see over here $13.41 to 1968. I don't have any real estate in my portfolio. I might not get the biggest returns, but if I can make 6-7% a year on it, and then plus whatever it grows after eventually coming back up, maybe a few years from now, it'll be a nice return, and it won't just be only in stocks such as like the S&P 500 or QQQ. So I just wanted to bring this up. I think it's definitely good to see. And if you like my channel, definitely go through my videos. I have like I have different playlists that you can go through. And you can do anything where it's my current positions, my Fidelity portfolio, like my crypto, my Fidelity Active Trader Pro, and like just investing ideas that I have. And I have different shorts on where I try to upload like every day of what I've been making, whether it's like Tesla or the, you know, Tesla and Amazon, because I trade Tesla so much, but just showing the gains and like where my entries were. So if you like what I mentioned, if you like this more videos that mention just index funds, just mention them to me and I'll definitely make a video on them. But I have videos on literally everything: MAC, RSI, how I trade, I-series, I-bonds. Just feel free to click on them and watch them, and just like and leave a comment in the section below.